What's that smell like?
You smell that?
Yeah, mate. I smell that.
I smell, arguably, I'd say the 4th or 5th best race day of the year, Drifters. That's what I smell.
Yeah, definitely top 5, mate.
As we were saying in the green room, this card, this Stradbroke Day card at Eagle Farm this weekend, this is a better card than day 3 of the championships. This is sensational stuff.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's a high quality card across the board. The Queensland trainers, Brisbane-based trainers, just looking at each other, turning to each other and just saying, can we catch a fucking break? What? This thing's here in this Group 3.
What is Chris Waller doing to us?
Yeah.
Give us a chance,
What
Chris.
about my thing? No, it's great. Build it and they will come, as they say. And Eagle Farm certainly has finally been built in the image of which us punters deserve. The turf, I don't know what type of turf it is, but apparently it's good turf. I'm not a turf guy.
It's a putting green.
Yeah, 100%.
It's hard to stop sometimes. It's almost like Augusta.
Yeah, 100%. Every single jockey in a post-race interview, so how did the track play? Because, Eagle Farm's had a few dramas in the last few issues.
It's played really well. It's really fair. I think every horse gets its chance.
So, hey, that's a consistent message coming from the jockeys. And it has us up and about. We're excited.
I'm bloody excited. And no sniffles or sore throats can get me down and out. That's for damn sure. So there's a bit of that going around in our household, but when in doubt, Drifters, responsibly drown it.
Responsibly drown it.
Responsibly.
Yeah, we've discussed this before, but also, man, I just feel like just be careful because we've spoken about speaking things into existence before. And I feel like if you just completely, stop speaking about it, then it's not going to be knocking on your door. Yeah. You don't have to answer.
Sure.
That's what I think at least.
I think that's a fair assessment. Now, before we get into this fantastic card of racing, there's 2 things that I wanted to talk about. Now, Singapore racing is going to be no longer from next year, which, we're not big followers of Singapore racing, but I think for the sport of horse racing, that's not good.
No, it's not good. Yeah, I think they're handing the land back over to the government, and no doubt they'll develop it into whatever they decide to develop it into.
I also read on Twitter that apparently a lot of fatalities happen there. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think it's the safest jurisdiction for something like that. So it's potentially that element that has played into it as well.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, did you see Tiakau opening up a stable here?
I did see that, which is brilliant. Cranbourne, which is where Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. train out of. Apparently elite stable setup. Like, I wouldn't know. But, that is exciting. Almost like and with all due respect to Tiakau, a poor man's Godolphin.
Yeah.
Which is still a good place to be.
It's the Kiwi version.
The Kiwi version of Godolphin. Who's the first horse you think of when you see those silks?
Melody Bell.
Same here. Yeah. Comfortably.
Second place is Tiakau Shark.
Yeah, he was a good horse, wasn't he?
And then Imperatriz. They're in our short careers of following the great game, I think they're the probably 3 biggest.
Yeah. And they'll just go from strength to strength, I think. Tiakau.
I agree. And speaking of Mick Price and Kent Jr., we had a drifter slide into our DMs who's actually an owner of Amenable. So Marcus Williams, I believe your name is. Thanks for reaching out, brah. He is one of the biggest fiends that you'd ever hope to see about breeding ever. He knows his stuff.
He's a fiend for it. I don't keep an eye on the DMs, drifters. Sorry, I know you're always trying to get hold of me, but that's Heart Show's domain. So you flagged it with me, and I had a quick read through, and he's a fiend for it, which I respect because I'm a fiend for it as well. I love the breeding side of things, but he's got a couple of handy ones, that's for sure.
He does. Amenable is the best of those, I would have thought. So But much like him, we're just leviathans in the owner's space. I would have thought, Declan.
Yeah, on the drift stable is continuing to build. We've just
we're diversifying our portfolio this time.
Yeah, you got to spread your risk, right? Well, funnily enough, to say we're spreading our risk, we've now got 2 with the same trainer. So Klutzy's rig that we have in partnership with the lads at Bloody Brilliant Beers. He's out of Better Than Ready. He's coming up from Newcastle. He was with Nathan Doyle. He is going to be trained by Jack Bruce. Jack Bruce has a stack of experience in the game. I think he did the Godolphin Flying Start thing, which is, an elite program for people wanting to get into the horse racing industry, not necessarily as a trainer, but gives them a leg up. He's got experience with Kieran Maher. He's got experience with Chris Waller. He's based out of Eagle Farm.
Not 100% sure, but apparently he is elite at training these tried and true horses. He
is, yeah. And if you check out his statistics, when he takes one to the big smoke, they go well. So Klutzy's rigs with Jack Bruce now. We also bought into another horse called the Second at Portsea, which is a tried horse. I think it's had about 10 starts for just the one win, but about 4 or 5 placings. Its win as a 2-year-old was like 4 or 5 wide the trip and just kicked away. It's pretty impressive, but used to be with the O'Briens down south. They had a high opinion of the horse. They were actually in the ownership of the horse. Guess who else was in the ownership of the horse?
A few Hawthorn players. Have you heard of them? Now, big Brisbane Lions full forward, Jack Gunsynd, Jared Roughhead, one of the greats, Liam Shields, I believe, and used to work at punters.com. Played at, I forget his name, but yeah, Ruckman. Anyway.
Yep, and Brian Bray as well. He used to have ownership in the horse. So the shoe's on the other foot. We're buying in now to a horse. So, the Second at Portsea, we've got a little share of that. She's with Jack Bruce too, so she's a Churchill filly. She'll probably run in the next few weeks.
Exciting stuff.
It's what we do. We've got fingers in pies. If you're selling a horse, we're probably not too far away because we're absolutely rolling in it. Yeah. And do you know why we're rolling in it, mate? Because we just back winners for fun. And when you're backing winners for fun, the bank account's full. Look at the two of us. Don't we just look rich? Like, look at the hat you're wearing. We look wealthy, off, well-to-do.
I do. So hopefully we find a few more winners because it's a sensational card, but it is a difficult card. So we've been saying
please.
We've been saying right throughout that this JJ Atkins is bloody anyone's, and it comes to the day, I've got 6 winning chances, and I've left out a couple of last start winners as well.
Look, I'm just going to preface before we get into our actual selections for the day at Eagle Farm. Drifters, I've done some tremendous shopping this week. Tremendous. Like, you could almost say like daylight robbery, shoplifting.
Black Friday stuff.
100%. Oh, tremendous shopping. It's almost as if I've already stolen from the bookies, and they're going to turn around and say to me, they're going to say, at least Ned Kelly wore a mask. I'm very confident. Like, to quote Mick Sharkey, I could tip the card this week. I really could tip the card.
I love it. So the JJ Atkins, I have 6 winning chances in the race. Obviously can't fit them all into a Group 1 strategy, so there's a couple that I'll have to risk. But I looked at the speed map and the profile of these horses. I don't think there's a lot of speed in this race. I don't know if you saw it differently. Big fields, 2-year-olds, they'll probably generate speed anyway. But on paper, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult to try and identify the speed horses here. I thought that someone like a King Colorado will probably jump to the front from the soft draw, and then Azula will probably be up there with him. But I thought from the draw, the next one that could potentially be up there is something like Solidify. What do you reckon?
Excuse me. Yeah, I think a Solidify. will sit up there. Oh, mate, I think it's going to be pace on because of the point you made. 2-year-olds, 1,600 metres, like they just go. So yeah, I think there'll be enough pace on. Should give everything a chance. I think it'll be a truly run race. Yeah, you've got 6 winning chances. I've got 2, but one I'm incredibly keen on. And I jumped on, luckily enough, immediately after his last start win down in Sydney. And he's come into $5.50 with Neds now. I got 11s for him, and that's number 6, Tannhauser. I was watching that race, and I'm so glad I did because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have jumped on straight away, and I probably wouldn't have been as keen. But this thing was just stalking the back of the field, and they were dawdling up front, and he came home like an absolute freight train. When there's not a lot of pace in the run, he's a little baby boy 2-year-old, and he still came home so strongly. That tells me, 1, he's a horse with some talent. 2, he's a horse that's going to enjoy getting out over 1,600 metres. You take a closer look at his breeding hutch. Let me just get the binoculars out. Who's his sire, you might ask? Done deal. He's on fucking fire at the moment, done deal, isn't he?
He is.
Militarise. Late season 2-year-old. He's going to lap up the 1,600 metres. He's got the silks to match as well with Militarise. Geez, that could be swimming in size soon. Newgate Farm. Yeah, I'm really keen on Tannhauser. I'm speaking with my mouth, my head and my heart. $11 that I got in futures. Like, please. And yeah, the horse that you indicated earlier, Solidify. I was so keen on him last start, and I tell you what, Ryan Elliott, the jock, I don't know if he's on him again this weekend. Jesus Christ, like, hey, let me find the closest brick wall so I can run into it. Like, honestly. He's $20 with Ned, so yeah, I'm going to have a little spec on him too, because he could bounce back in a big way.
That's unfair. That's unfair. He had nowhere to go.
It's not with my hard-earned cash on it.
Yeah, Nash gave him an absolute pounding into the ribs.
Nash just bent him over and pulled out his pants and gave him a little smack bottom, a little paddle.
Because whoever the jockey was had to think about it. Nash doesn't think, mate. He just reacts, which is what you want in these big contests.
Nash is just bubbling away like a volcano. He's that hot, and sometimes volcanoes explode.
They do. And that's why he's suspended for a third of the year. I'm in an absolute pretzel with this race, I'll be honest. But my 6 winning chances are Chrysaor, Congregation, Tannhauser, Solidify, King Colorado, and Miracle of Love. So, in the interest of this, I've got 4 that I'm playing around in my Group 1 strategy. My on-top selection is probably going to be the same one as yours, Tannhauser. Couldn't agree more. Has that pretty... Like that 7-week let-up trial... That first up run, this prep has been ultra impressive.
Waller loves a JJ Atkins too.
Yeah, he does. And I think this will just be the cherry on top for all those people that said, probably us included at one point in time, that he's not a 2-year-old trainer. But as you said, mate, Newgate investing in these 2-year-olds. My goodness. Every second good one that's going around is owned by them.
Unbelievable. And they've snapped up, think about it, for the Everest as well. I think they've bought a majority share in that slot. So because they've just looked at Militarise winning 2 Group 1s as a 2-year-old, they're just like, well, we're set for a while.
That's true. That is true. So I think the stablemate Chrysaor is another one that I do want to be on. So yes, Solidify was unlucky, but so was this boy. And Nash did all he could to try and get him into the right space. But, you know, taking an absolute pounding into the ribs is not going to help anyone. So he was held up in the straight. Got going late, held on for 3rd. I think I really like the way that he actually ran through the line. So Chrysaor from the wide barrier, if they do go insane up front, I'm not too fussed by that. He'll probably be up the back end, but if he can get on the trail of like a Tannhauser or something, I don't think that's the worst place to be. After that, Solidify, all the reasons outlined, drew much, much smarter here. I don't want to be losing if this fella wins. I think he'll be in front of Tannhauser and Chrysaor in the run. And then King Colorado is the one with the absolute weird form lines, I think from Kembla Grange or something like that. Look, he's probably not running the time, but he is running with a sensational action, and he pins the ears right back, and he pings away. So at $26, I think I'll have a little something on him. So $50 on Tannhauser. Chrysaor, I'll have 25 on, 15 on Solidify, and $10 on King Colorado.
I'm going to have 90 on Tannhauser and a tenner on Solidify. I might tweak that a little bit depending on what the market does, but yeah, all over Tannhauser like a rush. He's close to my best of the day.
I think he starts favourite here.
Tannhauser.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm thinking more so the specking for Solidify. If he's jumping at 13s, I want more than $10 on him.
Okay. All right, let's go to the creme de la creme, the Stradbroke Handicap. Now, there's some people out there, some haters, Declan, saying that this isn't a good edition. I would have thought this is a sensational edition of the race.
Are you fucking kidding me? Who said that?
Oh, just some
heroes. Find them for me.
Some heroes on Twitter.
Oh, I tell you what. We like heroes. We hate victims. We love heroes, but...
Sorry, victims on Twitter.
Yeah, victims on Twitter. Don't be a victim. Like, oh, don't rate this Stradbroke field. Mate. Okay, well, show us one that's better then.
Oh,
come at us with some facts.
Sorry, Opal Ridge isn't even in the starting field.
Nor is Yellow Brick. And I reckon 9 times out of 10, they're in the field.
Dragon Leap, I think, once upon a time, beat home I Wish I Win. What else do you want?
What do you want?
The Archer winner's not in this field. Rocky form.
Oh, man. Yeah, that is a victim attitude. Oh, Stradbroke field's not that deep this year.
Right, so
well, give us something then. Like if you want to have a strong opinion, that's fine. But say in comparison to this particular year, I'm thinking of bang, 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 bang. It's like, okay, cool. You've come up with a solid argument. Don't just throw some shit banter around it on Twitter. Don't be such a victim.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speed. There'll be plenty of
Stacked.
speed.
There'll be big field, 1,400 metres, handicap.
Yeah.
Yep.
If the handicapper does their job right, they'll be 2 lengths from first to last.
Oh,
so,
gotcha.
Gentleman Roy has drawn absolutely sensationally in 2. We'll jump from 1 once the emergencies are scratched. Surf Dancer's probably up there with Royal Merchant. Rothfire's drawn out in the car park, but he'll drift across as well. And probably Holyfield up there as well. And then it's anyone's guess the rest.
Yeah.
Think about it. Is your $3 favourite with the good people at Ned's? He's on first inspection drawn a little bit sticky, but he's got 4 scratchings inside him. He'll run from about barrier 8, I predict. Mate, he's going to be awfully hard to beat here for 54 kilos.
He'll be so hard to beat. He's incredibly well weighted. Going from a weight for age in a Kingston Smith, which was a pretty handy addition of the Kingston Smith, dropping down to 54 kilos, he's still treated incredibly well at the weights. Tick the weight for age box, and then comes into a handicap over 1,400 metres, which I think 1,300, 1,400 is no issue for him. He's going to be incredibly hard to beat. He'll jump shorter than 290, I believe, with Neds. But I'm gonna go against him. I 100% think he's a winning chance, but we're going to go against him. But do you want to just quickly sort of squeeze through the race from top to bottom and do the old?
Yep.
Yes, no.
Yep. So Rothfire obviously ran 3rd in the Kingsford Smith Cup. Meets think about it, far worse at the weights here. I think, if I'm doing quick maths, about 2.5, 3 kilos worse at the weights. Barrier 23 doesn't help him.
23 is the only time you want to see that number is on bloody Michael Jordan's back. It's not ideal.
No, so I think love Rothy, but I think this might be one peg too far.
$2.1 million in the bank. Can't complain.
Superstorm?
Not here, no.
Good story.
Great story.
New stable, 200 to 1 in the market.
He's a Group 1 winner, but I still don't think his best in a handicap over 1,400 metres wins this.
Agreed. Valana, barrier 15, sticky. Now, J-Mac has taken the ride, probably just because he can't get down to that weight on AF Cabin. But what do you reckon? I wouldn't be shocked if he won.
Yeah, he can certainly bounce back at $15 with Neds. I think he's one of the better roughies in the race.
Now, the Fiend that was in our DMs during the week said that there was 10% going around for Scalapini during the week.
Oh, really?
So we missed an opportunity there. But $27 for a horse as honest as him over the 1,400 metres, look, it'd be a boil over, but I wouldn't be absolutely mortified.
No, I would not, but happy to risk.
Agreed. Converge. Now, his 12 months record, 8 starts, no wins, 1 second and a third. That second, though, was against the likes of Animo.
Yeah, I think what tells the story about Converge is if you take out his soft and heavy form. That's 10 of his starts, so half of his starts are on heavy decks, and he's got a couple wins, but I think that's when he was maybe a two-year-old or a 3-year-old. So if you take that out, his record reads a lot better, like 11 starts for 3 wins, 3 seconds, and 2 placings. So, he's a different horse on a dry deck. He gets in pretty well at the weights. From what we saw on his run on the rails in the Kingston Smith Cup, I think $8 with Neds is just about right for him. He's a winning chance.
Yep. Surf Dancer surprised everyone in the BRC sprint, but it was a hell of a win with Josh Parr in the saddle. It would surprise me to win.
Yeah, agreed.
Gentleman Roy is the best roughie in the race for me. I can forgive his run last start in the Kingston Smith Cup. Drew wide, went back, which I've never seen him do. Draws the inside barrier here, mate. He'll lead and he'll be mighty hard to get past.
He'll be tough to get past. Looking through his record, he's ran an awful lot at the 1600 metre and he's won a couple of times, but I don't know. I feel 1400 metres is his distance.
Yeah. What did you do second up last prep?
Yeah, exactly. $23 is a big price for him. Willow on board. Willow's in good form too. So,
absolutely. And what a difference a year makes. 11-11 Drifters was favourite for the race.
Was it favourite?
Yep.
So you've got people out there saying that last year's edition arguably was better, and you had 11-11 as the favourite. Like, yeah, that'll do me.
Think about it. Is your favourite as outlined? He'll be mighty hard to beat. Cardinal Gem, $13. He's a winning chance for mine.
Yeah, I think so. Well found by you a fair few weeks ago now on the pod. He's been up for a long time, but Graham Begg knows what he's doing. So, yeah, $13, he's a winning chance.
Yep. Holyfield probably out of his grade here.
Yep.
Af Cabin. Now, I have some opinions about this horse, but what do you think?
He's a sprinter, and they try to stretch him out to get the mile, and I think, he can run it, but no, he's a sprinter, this horse. He's in pretty well at the weights with 53 kilos on his back. K-Max found some form at the right time. I thought he was enormous. He was a flashing light run in the Doomben 10,000, so certainly wouldn't shock. $13 about him, I think, is a terrific price. He's not in my betting strategy, but yeah, he's certainly a winning chance.
Okay. He's had 4 runs over 1,400 metres or further, and his form, at the top level, does look okay at the distance, having 2 wins out of 3 at the 1,400. I think they could be outliers. One was in a maiden against absolutely putrid opposition. And the other was at Caulfield when it was hailing and Jamie Carr was in the saddle. And basically you had to be leading or you couldn't win just for safety. He won by 6.
Pretty sure he bled after that as well, didn't he?
And it was absolutely pissing down. And everyone was going like, holy shit, this is the new kid on the block. And, calling a spade as a spade, his autumn so far has been subpar for the expectations that we've had.
Yeah, fair enough. I think 1,400 metres in a high-pressure handicap race, I think will suit him.
Sure.
Yeah. He's a winning chance.
I think his best is probably with a bit of cut out of the ground. That's just my opinion as well. So I'm happy to risk him. I don't think I'll be a little bit shocked if he won. Actually, I think there's better chances of the race. He's not my on top 3-year-old. Let's put it that way. Royal Merchant. Won the Goodwood. Has found winning form at the right time.
She has, yeah. Happy to risk. If I'm looking at the number of 13 and the 14, both out of the same stable, both won Group 1s in Adelaide, the one I'd prefer to be on is Ruthless Dame. I think she's got more of an upward spiral and more ability than Royal Merchant. Credit to Royal Merchant. She's been up for so long and just keeps finding a way, and that stable just keeps finding a way. But Ruthless Dame out of the two of them is definitely more of a winning chance for me.
Yeah, agreed. Chain of Lightning, I think at the tippy top level probably finds her out.
Yep, agreed.
Palisapan is a favourite of mine, but jeez, $81 was lame last start, had a hoof injury. Jeez, there's a fair bit going on.
There's a bit going on.
Yeah. TikTok Queen, I think I'm happy to risk at the $126.
Happy to risk. Cousin Angela Jones is her first ride in a Group 1, so wish her all the best. Good luck, cuz.
Hawaii 5-0, the biggest horse arguably at Eagle Farm this weekend.
He's so big. He's not a 3-year-old. He's enormous. He's only got 49.5 kilos on his back, and he drawn super well. Yeah, he's a big winning chance for mine.
Fucking oath, mate. He's definitely in my strategy. So with all that considered, what way are you heading?
Well, there's a lot of horses that I'd like to play on, and when I was doing my betting strategy, I was trying to dissect it a little bit to try and get some juice out of the race. And I'm like, no. What horse do you think's going to win the race? Well, there's a few horses I think can win the race, but what horse do I want to win the race? And that's one that I feel like I identified a bit earlier on than a lot of others, and that's number 18, Hawaii 5-0. 14.5 kilos on his back. He's fucking enormous. So it's like riding with a Brett Preble, a little pebble on his back. He won't know himself. Rachel King's just got to ride him well because, yeah, he's drawn gate 3, but right next to Gentleman Roy, they're going to be pinging the gates. I don't want her to be in a race to the front with him. I just want her to cruise out the gates, and wherever he lands is where he lands, because I'm a bit, with all due respect to Rachel King, there is a bit of hesitation there because there's not a lot of lightly weighted jockeys. I would have loved to have had like a Willow or something like that on board. All due respect to Rachel King, she's a great jockey.
I think that's a pretty fair statement,
and certainly can get the job done. I don't want him to go too fast. I want him to be up there in the first third without going too quick because there's going to be so much pressure on the race. But he's got 49.5 kilos. I think he's got a lot of improvement to come. Like I said, when I tipped him in the Fred Best, he was 5 weeks between runs. So he's going to bounce out of that race and certainly be a lot sharper. 1,400 metres is right up his alley from what we've seen. And Waterhouse and Bott Stable, they know how to win these sort of races. So Hawaii 5-0 is the one for mine. You couldn't find two more deserving gents of the prize money, Harvey Norman and John Singleton.
Well, I think a lot of the punters would be hoping that Singo wins because he's shouting the bar.
He's shouting the bar.
Saturday if Hawaii 5-0 wins.
So he's $5.50 with good people at Ned's, and I'm just going to chuck $100 on him to win because there's half a dozen others at double figure odds that I'd like to have in my betting strategy, but I just can't. So $100 on Hawaii 5-0 for me.
Yeah, that's smart. I don't know the exact split. Might be $50 on both. Hawaii 5-0 and think about it. I think they're the two clear on top selections for me. If I was to get a bit funky, it'd be Gentleman Roy in a Quinella or something. But I'm just going to keep it relatively simple and have it on those. So not really juice hunting this weekend. Well, at least in the Group 1s, there's plenty of other races to find out about. So let's have a look at the rest of the card now. Race 1 is the Oxlade Stakes 1,300 metre listed race for the 2-year-olds. So I think Infancy probably hits the front here for Chris Lees. Winning form is good form. Getting $8.50 though.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Isthmus, my girl out of Shoals down the bottom. She ran third on debut. The money absolutely came for her. Probably nearly 4 weeks ago now. Debuted down the straight in Flemington. And she just looked a bit green, and she was just a bit like, yo, what's going on here? I think she'll improve a lot out of that. The stable's got an enormous opinion of her. She's $7.50 with Neds, and she's out of my girl, Shoals. So Isthmus, $7.50 with good people at Neds.
Oh, I've found a fantastic bet here, and that is number 9, Queen of Dragons.
Jeez, if you want to lose with dragons in their name.
Good thing she is a racehorse and not a football player. You look through her form, she has some of the best form for the 2-year-olds that you'd ever hope to see. She has second placing behind Militarize in a maiden plate. She was running behind Red Resistance and Steel City as well. And last start, she was behind Zia and Abounding, who are at that sort of benchmark. But you look, what I really loved about this girl was her trials going into that first run. Just the first one, she was behind by about 3 lengths with about 50 metres to go, and she just zoomed past the thing in front. Second one, she was about last and was asked for nothing by the jock and was just basically went straight past the other ones inside who were hard ridden. I saw enough out of the Carter Stakes for the fillies. I think she's a sensational bet this weekend. I'm ultra keen on her. She's going to get me off to a fantastic start.
It's going to get you off. She's a little filly. That's disgusting.
Your words. The Gunsynd Classic for the 3-year-olds. You have Yellow Brick looking for redemption here.
Oh mate, if he's in the Stradbroke, he's probably what, $10? You'd think.
Yeah.
And for mine, a genuine chance. He's $1.70 in this race, and I think he'll win like $1.70 thing. Yeah, not a price you can dive into, but maybe if you're searching for a little bit of maybe, I don't know, juice drifters, just chuck that in and multi him up and just go bang, 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 bang.
Well, the RBA is being absolute pricks at the moment for those homeowners out there. So if you need something that is, better than what they're dishing out, maybe Yellow Brick's your answer responsibly. But I think the only threat in the race for mine is the 4 Rediner. I think I did tip him about 6 weeks ago where he ran into a really nice 3rd or 4th, just a few weeks behind as per usual. But mate, his last run over the 1500 at Rose Hill, he led, which I've never seen before, and he kicked away extremely well. Barrier 4 might be in front of Yellow Brick and give him a bunny to chase.
Yeah, Yellow Brick was a bit sluggish out the gates, his last 2 starts, wasn't he? So that's a little bit of a concern, but I think the mile is more suitable to him than the 1400 metres in the Stradbroke. So, yeah.
True. The Wayne Wilson Plate is race 3 on your program, 1600 metre listed race. Now, is Hutchie from racing.com just going to be a greedy guts?
He's backing him up on the quick backup, Nick Ryan. He's an up-and-coming trainer with a lot of ability. He debuted Muhammad Deus, that old horse, at the jumps today, and he won. I think it was Nick Ryan's first ever horse at the jumps. Like, he's a young trainer with some ability. How he's kept Moonamek up for this long and to be winning every other race is phenomenal. $1.2 million prize money.
How stoked would you be?
Oh, absolutely terrific.
I think I looked at it like when because he came here from Hong Kong in his first run. I reckon he had like the number for with a 400,000 is in my mind. Yeah, right. So I reckon, I could be wrong about that, but I reckon he's nearly made like 800 grand since spinning.
That's terrific. Like, 7-year-old gelding. Love to see it. Yeah, look, he could definitely win. He can 100% win. I'm really keen on Antino though. This weekend, I've really liked what I've seen from him. He's building a bit of a picket fence. Carried the top weight last start in the Star Class 6 Handicap, 61.5 kilos. And he was awesome there. And Tony Golan said, look, in other years he'd probably be a Stradbroke horse and probably would have made the field, but not in a year where it's worth $3 million. So he's obviously got a really high opinion of the horse. He's $3 for Neds. He's my pick.
I was wrong. Moonamek had won 700 when he came here, but still, Hutchie's banked $500,000 since he's been here.
Oh man, I just wanted to own an old gelding who just wins like every so often and has won $1.2 million. That's what I want
at $10 every start.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
And the people's horse too a bit. Like the people's horse.
Yeah. Because every time it wins, it's like, fuck, Hutchie's had to fill up again.
Fucking hell, we should get rich. Are you kidding me?
Dragon Leap for me was absolutely sensational in the BRC sprint. Was 4 or 5 wide the trip and still had the audacity to run on. So I think from barrier 6, that I wish I would inform, $10 looks generous. So I'm happy to side with him. He does win out of turn though. So the Brisbane Cup. Now, I'd say this is one of the stinkier races on the program. I found this near impossible.
Well, as we've said before, impossibilities equals juiciness. So when you see a race that's a bit of a Rubik's Cube, you hunt for the juice. And there's a horse that is a friend of the podcast, number 3, Salino, who was juicier early on in the week. It's $15 early on in the week when I was shopping. Before the final fields were announced, and he's been trimmed up into $10 with the good people.
Our friend Sneesby Racing might have had a slice.
Yeah, I've got a strong suspicion that a lot of people have followed him in as well. Look, he's my top selection, and it's not just because of that reason, but like he's the horse in the race that if it was a 4,200 metre race, you want him. Like he gets going pretty late. He ran terrifically in the Sydney Cup. He ran terrifically in the Andrew Ramsden. He gets winding up when he's looking for like another 600 metres. So this is an easier race than those. So Salino's on top for me. And guess who's in the saddle, mate, for the first time ever?
Nash.
Piping hot Natural Willer. Like he's going to get him into the race, mate. He's going to start working the motor about 1,000 hours. Like, come on, get into the race. And yeah, he'll overuse the whip, but that's fine.
Yep.
So Salino for me.
Yep. Well found by you. And I had a look. I'm like, geez, 2 miles Salino. That's a good prospect.
That's a great price.
Yeah. I'm going even more juice hunting when in doubt. Number 13, Long Arm, believe it or not, at $34 drifters.
Sheesh.
Craig Williams in the saddle, 53 kilos. You might be thinking, what on earth are you talking about? But I think you have to look at this horse when he's at 2,800 metres or further, where he's got a pretty decent record. Look, am I red hot about him? Absolutely not.
Not red hot like Nash.
So you can look at every single horse in this race, right? And you can go like, oh, they've had 15 to 16 starts on a good track, and they only have 2 to 3 wins. So I don't think you actually need to handle the good track. I don't think any of them do.
Nah.
So it's like basically you just need to find the best stayer. I think Long Arm is a stayer. I think Warning will run the distance. I think True Marvel can. I think Salino can. Nerve Not Verve can. Platinum Invader at $51 beat Nerve Not Verve over the 2 mile 4 starts back. So it's that type of race. Just extremely stinky. But yeah, good luck, Salino. The Hinkler Handicap, 1,200 metres listed. I thought this was extremely difficult as well.
This is tough. This is the toughest race for mine. 100%. Look, I'm going to stick with my guy Alpine Edge. Like I've stuck with him every start this prep. The first start over 1,000 metres, 11 of 12, no good. But that meant that next start he was 20s. Yeah. Wins the Archer. Next start, I think I might have had a little bit on him in my betting strategy for the Kingston Smith. Mm-hmm. He's finished 8th there, but I think he was like 3.5, 4 lengths away from Think About It. So you're not too far away. He's $14 here with Neds. He's got to lug the top weight, and he's drawn wide. But yeah, I'm not going to have a big play in this race. But if I'm gonna, it's going to be on a horse that if he ran around the circuit and he finished first, and I didn't have a cent on him, I'd be more devastated than what I was when I didn't have a cent on Character when I tipped him on the podcast at about 15s or 16s.
That's a good theory. If you're going to be physically ill after the race, have something tiny on so you're not going to be vomiting everywhere.
At least you had something on.
Yeah, have something tiny on, drifters. It's not that difficult.
Cheers to that.
I'm using your theory with a horse that I have had time for over the journey, and it might just, the stars might be aligning for him. There's been a lot of Volcano chat, and the Inferno would fit right in with that. So Mark Zara on board, 19. Cliff Brown, the trainer, 4 lengths off. Think About It.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad, you know.
Not
Good track is the key to this horse. A big, wide track like Eagle Farm, an easier grade. Yeah, I could see him running on. Like he was 2 lengths off Jigsaw when he was like easily the best bet in Australia that day.
Ridiculous price.
Look, I'm getting $9. I would have liked double figures. You still might get double figures on the day. But the other one, who's around the same quote, who you just put a line through there last start, is Bacchanalia. This horse was a bee stick away from think about it. The start prior came up lame. You would assume he would be healthy for on race day. So if he bounces back, he can absolutely win this. So
100%.
I'll be playing those too. Now, the Q22 is just a sensational way to kick off this quaddie. This is a sensational race.
Terrific race. I think Without a Fight will be terribly hard to beat. GC showed a turn of foot like a good horse in the Lord Mayor's Cup over 1,800 metres.
Yes.
Just a bit back in the field, and just the way he put the field away just says to me that this is the sort of horse who, like, is he going to win a Cox Plate? Probably not, but is he capable of running in a Cox Plate? Yes. And based on that logic, he's going to be incredibly hard to beat. He's $3.20 with the good people at Ned's over 2,200 metres. Yes, he'll be hard to beat. I'm going to stick with my girl, Jewess. I thought she was terrific in the Dermot Cup over 2,000 metres. First up after a 28-week break. And she just got held up a little bit. That wouldn't have impacted the result of the race, but I think with a little bit more luck, she goes close to Huerta in the Dermot Cup. I'm thinking of her Wait for Age Tancred victory over 2,400 metres where she just ate them up and chewed them up and spat them out. If there was a distance that you could pick for Jewess that I think is absolutely perfect, I think it's 2,200 metres. And she's drawn perfectly. Sam Clippert in the saddle. I think she'll sit a bit closer. And $7.50 with Ned's. Thank you very much. She is... I'm not an each-way guy anymore, but if I was going to smack something each way, it'd be Jewess on Saturday. Yeah, I'm really keen on her. But yeah, Without a Fight, the obvious danger for me.
Without a Fight was just about the only horse that was sat back in the field and won that day at Eagle
Electric
Farm.
turn of foot.
So absolutely no reason why, if the track is faring somewhat fairly, that he can't do it again. I'm pretty keen on him this weekend. He's nearly my best of the day Without a Fight. Your point about Jewess is sensationally said, and I'm not surprised at all. I was actually going like, you're actually not backing her this time, but I was wrong. I think Huerta could win the race. There is a roughie in this race, and that is number 10, Lions Raw.
A good friend of the podcast.
Very good friend of the podcast. Beat home Kukaracha last start, who was extremely honest. And that was on a soft 6 where he doesn't want that soft ground. He will relish Eagle Farm, the rock hard deck. So if there is a blowout, he could be the one for Johnny O'Shea, Craig Williams, Lions Raw. Now, the Dane Ripper. I reckon they should rename this race the Brooklyn Hustle Stakes.
Fucking hell. Best of the day. And again, Drifters, terrific shopping by me earlier in the week. $3 for Opal Ridge. And I was telling everyone who would listen, I said, you're not going to get $3 when the market's open. Sure enough, she's already into $2.50 with the good people in there. She'll start shorter. People are literally seeing that she didn't make the Stradbroke field. I think she's like second emergency and sighing. They're like, you're kidding me, because she was definitely a chance. Down in the weight, she 100% would have been a chance in that race. So I think she'll put these to the sword on Saturday, $2.50 with Ned's. That's a bet you want to dive into head first. She'll win this. She'll start favourite for the Taz Tiara. She'll win that, and she'll feature in our spring sprint races for sure. She's certainly one of mine.
Yeah. Agreed. Nothing more to add. She is a sensational bet this weekend. The way she just absolutely kicked dirt in their faces.
It was Without a Fight style over a sprint distance.
Yeah.
Like turn a foot, bang, see you later.
Like the key to her is just good ground. And there's no harder track in Australia than Eagle Farm.
There's none. There's none at all. Look at her good record. Again, unfortunately, she's had just the 11 starts in her career, only 4 of which have been on good decks. And she's won 3 times, and she's got a second as well, which was not by far at all. So she's a dry track horse. Tyler Schiller is a great young jockey. I I don't mind her drawing barrier 12 because she can just find a spot midfield and just peel out, fan across Eagle Farm and go bang. Yeah, she'll win this race.
You look at the speed map in this race, there is speed fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the things that, listen to all these punting gurus over the journey. It's something that David Gately says. One of the first things that I remember him saying, it's like, the faster a race goes, the more it's going to be suited to the best athlete in the race.
The best horse, yeah.
She is the best athlete here, in my humble. So I think she'll go awfully, awfully close to winning. I think she's the clear bet. Dangers. Electric Girl won a Group 2 over on a good track at the start of last prep. She's first up again here. She's a belter. She's a belter. Might just need that Queensland sun on her back. So if we're playing quaddies, which I'd say we would be.
Yeah, she needs a good deck too. She's got a pretty good record on a good deck. I don't know why they stretched her out to like 1,1600 meters, like at the end of last prep. Yeah, she won a JJ as a 2-year-old over 1,600 meters, but I think that was just on ability. She's a sprinting mare for mine.
I know why. She ran third in a Coolmore Classic over 1,500 meters.
Yeah, true.
The mares. So
with
you
no
might,
weight,
you might
with
be
no
right.
weight
It's
on her
like
back.
they might, they'll go on like, you know what, this is her chance for that Group 1 as a mare, and she might not even get turn up at that weight again. She had 52 kilos in that race. She probably won't be in at the weights that well in a race like that anymore. So they might even target her to a sprint or something in the future. That's it. You'll see us in members this weekend if you're around. So come say good day. But yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be so good.
Terrific card. Yeah, I can't wait to play. I'm more confident for this weekend than I have been in a long time. So, which says to me, drifters, that I might find a couple of placings. No, yeah, really keen.
You know what you should do? You should bet everything that you like to place.
Oh no. No, yeah, really excited, and yeah, maybe there'll be a photo taken of us that'll make the BRC website again.
If you're buying tickets to Stradbroke Day, have a look. Whose royalties are not getting paid? Us. BRC, reach out, please.
We're sick of being taken advantage of. We really are. People using our chart,
our image,
people, always, we have the hottest takes in the game, like talking about how shit SA racing is. And all of a sudden, Bruce McAvaney's talking about it like, Bruce, give us a call first at least, please. Like, come on, Macca. Yeah, people just stealing our takes, hot off the press. Yeah.
If any of you were wondering, that was clearly a joke.
Yeah, of course it was.
But
and also, fuck anyone who can't take a joke.
Exactly right. We'll see you this weekend if you're at the track, drifters. So come say good day.
See you, drifters.